series for the final installment. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend that you check out the first 5 episodes. So far we've gone through the hamstrings, hip flexors, the adductors, the calves, and the last episode looked at the quadriceps. In the final episode here today, we're going to be looking at the glutes. Now the glutes are one of those muscles that are used in a lot of different movements and exercises without us really knowing that we're using them. And that's one of the issues, I guess, with team sport athletes is a lot of us don't know how to actually activate and engage the glutes. So this final episode is going to look at some exercises to isolate the glutes and work on teaching you how to activate and engage the glutes so that we can use them more throughout our athletic endeavors. So as always, if you enjoy this video today, please do give it a like or subscribe to our channel. Every time we get new subscribers or likes, it really does encourage us to keep creating content, so we really appreciate it. So this exercise is fairly basic. The band, which you're going to see in pretty much the entire glute series here, is going to be very useful. If you don't have it though, all these exercises can be done without. So the first one here is we're going to be lying on our stomach, and it's simply just lifting our leg up to engage that glute. So we're just lifting up like this, like so, off the ground, holding, engaging that glute, back down, holding for 5 to 10 seconds. Now, if you add the band, this needs to go around your ankles, and this is just gonna really add some resistance and make it that little bit more difficult. So it's the same thing, point that other foot, the toe into the ground, and then we're lifting up, engaging that glute, holding for 5 to 10 seconds, and then relax, and then making sure that we do both sides. Same on the other, 5 to 10 seconds, engaging that glute, and then relax. Recommend doing 10 to 20 reps of this each side, and it's a great exercise to add to your warm-up routine. Now the next 2 exercises are very similar, so I'm going to demonstrate them in the one video here. Again, the band's going to be very useful in this, but you can do it without. If you're going to do it without, what I'd encourage is you either use your own resistance against your leg, or you get someone else to push down. That'll make sense when I show you the exercise. So the first one that we're going to do is a clam. So the clam is fairly simple. So we're on our side here, knees bent, band around the knees. If you don't have the band around the knees, you're going to push with your hand on that top leg. And what we're trying to do here is just open that top leg up, like we're opening up a book or a clamshell, holding, and then back down. Now this is a really good exercise to include in your warm-up. So you might be looking at doing 10 to 20 of these each side. Start at the lower end if you haven't done it before, because with the band it's definitely going to be difficult and you're going to feel that glute firing. So when we're opening up, we're firing that glute, holding that position, activating it, and then dropping back down. So that's the clam exercise, obviously doing that on both sides. The top leg is the one that's working the glute. Now, the variation of this, or the progression, is called the oyster. So the oyster, the simple way to describe the progression from this is that our feet now are off the ground. So for the clam, they're down here. For the oyster, they come up, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're just lifting that top leg up, except now it's getting a little bit more difficult because we've got the feet off the ground. Hold that, come back down. And same as the clam, we're going to be looking at doing 10 to 20 on each side, starting at the lower end there and building up. So this next exercise, again, you need to be on the ground. Trusty band is going to be used as well. So what we want to do is wrap this one around our knees, and then what we're going to do is, it's called a fire hydrant. So on our hands and knees like this, in this position, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring this leg out. So it's called a fire hydrant because imagine you're a dog taking a pee on the fire hydrant. So you've got to lift your leg up as if you're going to do that pee. So up like that onto the fire hydrant, working that glute on that outer side, holding for 3 to 5 seconds, coming back down. We'll show that one again. So again, peeing on the fire hydrant, holding that position, making sure to keep this back and spine as neutral as possible. So just going as far as you can without rotating those hips. Back in, and then out like that. Now I'll show you this one from front on as well so you can see where the leg's going. So we're going out like this, holding 3 to 5 seconds, come back in, and again, keeping that spine and those hips neutral. So the last exercise in the glute series is a bit of a hybrid exercise. So it's the bird dog. Now it's not exclusively a glute exercise, but it does use the core as well. So it's a bit of a hybrid, and it gives you the best bang for buck. So that's why I've included it in this series. So what we do is assume that same position what we were doing in the fire hydrant, except now what we're going to do is our opposite leg and arm are going to extend. So I'm going to put my right hand forward, and that means my left leg goes back. Now we can hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds and hold it there. Now that's the most basic version of the exercise. If we want to make it a little bit more difficult, what we can do is extend out and then bring our hand and knee towards the center of our body, touch, back out, touch, back out. Now another one I like to do is, if you've got a tennis ball, it's going to be very handy, is you go into that same position, so left leg out, right arm forward, and then you're just going to drop and catch that ball. Now that back leg that's up is engaging with the glute to keep your leg up, and then we're bracing with the core and just challenging ourselves a little bit more with the ball bounce. So there you have it. There's the glute series and the final episode of the Bulletproof series. Best of luck for the upcoming season. I hope you've enjoyed it.